Get so much fulfillment from being a father, and I get a lot of love from my daughter, right? And it's unconditional. There is nobody in this world that is gonna love me as much as my own seed loves me. I just made this video talking about I could either be the fun guy or the family guy. And I think a lot of my life, I would classify myself as like, I was a nice guy. I was a little naive. I kind of believed in, the little fairy tale, like, you have your family, you get the picket fence, and you got the backyard and the dog and the cat, and you go through different things and your perspective changes, right? And, the older that I get, I'm 28. If it's just about busting nuts, like, it's not hard to find somebody to do stuff with, right? And there's no strings attached. Now, I could have that lifestyle, or I could kind of have the lifestyle where I'm just with one person and we try to build and, we just do our thing. I really want you to think about what led you to not be with, your child's mother. And then just think if you want to really put yourself in that position again. It's not as bad as what you probably think, right? At the time when I was going through it, I really felt like, oh man, this is horrible. Like, I didn't want another guy around my kid and this and that. Bro, if you were an involved parent, your child is going to love you and your child is going to be there for you. Just like you're there for your child. Like, I don't think she understands how much I love her. And there's no girlfriend, there's no wife that is gonna love me as much as my kid. And then when you just see like the shit that goes on, and like, I'm not saying like you can't find somebody and be happy and this and that. The older I get, the less I really want to get to know somebody. I don't want to learn about your favorite foods, your favorite shows. Like, I don't have the same patience that I once had when I was younger. I want to get to know somebody and meet people's families and do all of this shit. Like, I'm down to do that, but it's like, how many different, people am I gonna have to do this with? And if it's just about sex, you can find people to do stuff with and there's no strings attached, right? Now, if it's about building a family, that's a different story. Who's really doing that nowadays? And I'm not saying make decisions based off what other people are doing. I'm just saying what works and what doesn't work. And all throughout my life, anytime where I try to just focus on one person, it has never worked out. But then when I'm just doing me and there's no commitment and you're free to do what you want, it's like I don't be having these problems. And I don't know, like, I think people are brought up to think if they're not with somebody and they're not married that they're a failure. Go through enough situations and enough things, like, you just understand what it is, and so you don't take things personal. I'm in this stage of my life now where I just don't have patience for anything. Like, I can't deal with no bullshit.